Because there's no prenup can save you. Nothing can save you in the West. If she turns on you, she'll wreck you. And that's what's going to happen.
What are you waiting for?
In the midst of aspiring OnlyFans models and pH balance that could turn the stud master of lesbians straight.
I don't even want to be gay no more. Like, I've been scarred so bad by stanky cats that it just ain't worth it. Like, you see them on the social media and you be like, damn, they fine. Then when they take the clothes off of you, you be like, damn, they stink.
Damn.
God.
We have been given the arduous task of finding life partners in this toxic bag of apples. The children of the what have you done for me lately?
But what has he done for you lately?
And the girls just want to have fun era, or should I say era. These women are incapable of empathy or caring about anyone but themselves. But what about the young man that wants to have kids and a family? Is such a dream still possible in this Western society?
I'm assuming this guy lives in the West, so what's your advice for a guy living in the West that wants to have a family? He's early 30s right now.
Well, let me say this. As men, our ability to adapt to any niche or environment is what separates us from the monkeys. And in this pivotal point in history, Father Evolution has challenged us again to rise to greatness. Unlike the great saint Kevin Samuels, Lord Destro can no longer see any value in the concept of marriage. Marriage is akin to a boxer drawing a circle around his solar plexus so his opponent won't miss his weak spot. And her lawyer, that you are probably paying for, is a grandmaster of Din Mac. Now if you choose to moonwalk into love with these modern women, aka pimp backwards, Lord Destro will attend your wedding, with his best tuxedo. But before you jump and trip over that broom, let me provide you with another option. Today, let us talk about the offshore family option. Now, one of the best illustrations I've found of this option comes from the Sultan of Misogyny, aka Cobra Tate. This clip comes from a Richard Cooper interview that you should all go over to his channel and watch. Make sure you tell the entrepreneur Lord Destro sent you. Now, before we go any further into this rabbit hole, Lord Destro requires you to push that like button and smash that bell in the name of Cobra, and leave a comment below to appease the nosy algo, because as we all know, Big Brother is always watching. Now let the Jubockery commence.
Our future rests with Destro now.
To long-term relationship, a woman who's 30 for kids in the West. Where do average men find women for children? Working to better myself by getting older and don't want to be 45 when starting a family. I'm assuming this guy lives in the West, so what's your advice for a guy living in the West that wants to have a family? He's early 30s right now.
Sure, I'll tell you what to do. Get a little bit of money, get on a plane, fly to South America, find a girlfriend, have a child, fly back to America. When she says she wants to move to America, say no. Work, go visit, be a family man when you can be a family man. Do not face the fear of divorce. Keep your freedom, live your good life, have your genetic progeny, and be fine without worrying about losing the house, getting destroyed financially, and paying all your money away in child support.
The initiated modern man has to ask himself if the conventions of Western marriage and childbearing really serve him anymore. What does he stand to gain from signing a business contract that would reduce him to an indentured slave? A slave to his woman, a slave to the family court. What leverage does this man hold in this unholy union? Because no matter how misogynistic it sounds, no woman will follow your lead without leverage. As a matter of fact, the Western court will incentivize her to leave you. How long will you live by the motto that it's cheaper to keep her? Or, happy life, happy wife. If you want to pass on your legacy, why not do it in a country and environment that respects the role of a husband and father? A country that you, as a leading patriarch, designate the amount of money that should be spent on your woman and your child, and how much money should be saved. A situation where you hold all the responsibility, but you also control all of the leverage. Are you not worthy of this task? Or should a judge and your woman make these decisions for you?
You can go to South America, you can go to parts of Northern Africa, you can go to Asia, you can go to Thailand, Go over there and have your family and protect yourself. That's what you should do if you don't want to move. Because anything else is going to end up with you financially decimated or desperate in a sexless marriage. That's the unfortunate reality of the Western world.
That sounds like some hardcore passport bro gospel. I need to grab a tenderloin and testify. Yes, the world is your oyster, but only if you choose to take that passport dive. Is it possible to live happily ever after in the West? Of course it is, but you would have to vet your potential partner vigorously, and she would have to be on probation indefinitely. It's not impossible, but it's very risky, because on any given Sunday, she could wake up and invite the family court system into your bedroom and relationship. And remember, just because she leaves you doesn't mean she has to give up the standard of living you gave her. Hence the term ball and chain.
So you have to decide to have your children somewhere else. I'm absolutely deadly serious. Go to Cambodia, have 3 kids with 3 women, and there's your children. Send them $100 a month each, work in America, and visit Cambodia 3 times a year. There's your children. Enjoy.
Look, guys, I mean, you know how many times I've had this question over the years, like, how do you have women safely in the West, Rich? I mean, you've talked about this. Like, yeah, you don't. Like, you know, you structure your life in such a way where you minimize or eliminate the risk as much as possible. And guess what? That's going to require work. That's going to mean you're going to have to make certain changes, which are not what you're doing right now. And that's work. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, because there's no prenup can save you. Nothing can save you in the West. If she turns on you, she'll fucking wreck you. And that's what's going to happen.
Make your money in the West. Use that money to fund your family or families abroad. And most importantly, avoid modern women.
We don't care. We just like being petty and making fun of y'all.
This is the key principles of the offshore family option. Is it perfect? Of course not. But anything trumps being an indentured slave in a sexless marriage. Don't you agree?
Men don't want to marry anymore because the risk outweighs the benefits. There's a risk that comes with marriage that essentially only benefits a woman. A man marries you and can only hope that one day you don't wake up and say, I feel like I don't love you anymore and I want to leave and you can't do anything about it.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So evil, Lord Destro has spoken. Make your money in the West. Use that money to fund your family or families abroad. And most importantly, avoid modern women.